Hello, my name is Julie and welcome to this full body stretch. Finding a comfortable seated position and resting the hands on the knees and closing down the eyes, taking a moment to connect with the body and the breath. Slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. So deep inhale in through the nose, into the belly, into the chest, and deep exhalation out through the nose. One more deep breath, and this time exhaling out through the mouth with a sigh. Then when you're ready, opening the eyes. And on your next inhalation, lifting the arms overhead, and exhale over to the right side for a side stretch. Looking up towards the sky. Inhale, coming back to center, reaching the arms overhead. Exhale, coming over to the left side. Just gently warming up the body, bringing in some gentle movement. Inhale, coming back to center. And let's interlace the fingers, extending your arms out in front of you. And inhale, lifting them overhead, looking up towards the hands. And exhale, bringing them out in front of you again. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, coming back down, continuing at your own pace. Gently releasing the hands, bringing the soles of the feet together. And then wrapping the hands around the feet. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, bringing the knees up, and then exhale, drawing them down towards the ground. Inhale, lifting the knees, and then again exhale, pulling them down towards the ground. So activating the hips here, maintaining the length in the spine, and then bringing in some short, quick movements into the hips. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, and then exhale, folding forward. Gently gazing at the floor out in front of you. One more deep breath here. And then inhale, lifting the chest. Let's find our way onto hands and knees. We'll take our cat-cow. So on your next inhalation, rolling through the spine, lifting the chest and the chin, arching the back. And on your exhalation, pushing the floor away, rounding the back and looking towards the navel. We'll take that a couple times here. And then coming back to neutral, inhale in the middle, and then exhale, head and hip draw to the right side. Inhale back to center, and then exhale, head and hip draw to the left. Synchronizing the movement with your breath. Tucking the toes, and then coming onto our heels, making sure that our toes are completely tucked, and then interlacing the fingers behind the back. Inhale, rolling the shoulders back and opening through the chest, looking up towards the sky, and then on your exhalation, coming back to neutral. So deep inhale, rounding through the chest and upper back, looking up, and exhale, coming back. Engaging the core here, drawing the belly button in towards the spine to protect our low back, And then on your next inhale, rolling back and then this time holding, activating a little bit more, stabilizing the body. And releasing the toes. And again, interlacing the fingers, inhale, lifting and lengthening, and exhale, folding into a child's pose with a shoulder stretch. Inhale, coming back up, and exhale, finding our way to hands and knees. Inhale, tucking the toes and lifting to a high plank, and then exhale, let's push back into our first downward dog of the practice. So pushing the ground away, maybe pedaling out the legs to warm up the legs a little bit. And then finding stillness for a moment. Exhaling completely, and then inhale, dropping the knees, curving through the spine, finding our cow position. Exhale, pushing back to downward facing dog. So dropping the knees on the inhalation. Exhale, pushing back to a downward dog. 2 more times. Inhale, dropping the knees and lifting. Exhale, pushing back. Last one. And strap the knees, sit the hips back onto the heels, and then bring our knees to mat width distance. Let's find our wide-legged child's pose. Bring the hands out in front of you, and then bringing the belly, chest, and forehead down towards the ground. Deep inhalation here, and exhale, melting into the mat. Let's bring the hands over to the right side. Left hand on top of the right hand, and bring the belly towards the inner thigh. Feeling a stretch through the side body. Coming over to the opposite side. Right hand on top of left hand. And belly to thigh. Relaxing here. Gently coming back to center. And then gently rolling to hands and knees. Inhale, lifting to high plank. And exhale, pushing back to downward facing dog. On your next inhalation, right leg steps in between the hands, finding our low lunge, so untucking the left toes, rolling the shoulders back and down the back, chin lifted. Nice long spine here, engaging the legs, the glutes. Inhale, lifting the arms overhead, finding our crescent lunge. And again, avoiding sinking into the stretch passively, so engaging, bringing them forward nice and controlled, maintaining the length in the spine, pushing down through the right heel. Bring the hands in front of the chest, and then inhale, lengthening through the spine, finding your twist from the bottom of the spine. And then left elbow coming to the outside of the right knee, looking over that right shoulder. So on each inhalation, finding more length through the spine, and each exhalation, twisting a little deeper. Inhale, lifting the hands overhead, and then exhale, planting the palms, pushing back to downward dog. Inhale, the left leg steps in between the hands, finding a low lunge. Checking in with our alignment, pushing through the front heel, nice long spine, active legs. Inhale, lifting the arms overhead, finding our crescent lunge. Hands in front of the heart. Inhale, lifting through the spine, and exhale, twisting and pushing the right elbow into the outside of the left knee, looking over the shoulder. Slow, controlled breathing here. Inhale, finding our crescent lunge, and then exhale, setting the hands, pushing back to a downward facing dog. And our next inhalation, the right leg steps to the outside of the right hand, finding a lizard pose here. And you can either drop the left knee to modify or keeping it lifted for a more active position. Putting more weight into the foot rather than the hands. Exhale, stepping back to a high plank, and then taking out chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, pushing back to a downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg steps forward, finding our lizard pose. Repeating the same variation then this side. One more deep breath here. Exhale, stepping back to high plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's drop the knees and move into our puppy pose. So keeping our hips stacked over the knees, and then bringing the hands out in front of us. Let's bring the forehead onto the ground, and then releasing the belly and the chest. And let's for a moment come onto the fingertips. Inhale, lifting the chin, looking between the hands. And then exhale, dropping the forehead and hands, and gently come back to hands and knees. Let's take a thread, the needle. So inhale, right arm reaches up, looking up towards the fingertips, and exhale, threading through the left side. And the left arm, you can either keep it where it is, extend it over the head, or bring it behind the back, reaching towards the right inner thigh. For a deeper twist, shifting the gaze towards the ceiling, and notice how that deepens the twist through the spine. Placing the left hand next to the head, inhale, reaching up, and exhale, coming back down. Switching sides. Inhale, left arm reaches up towards the sky, and exhale, threading the needle. One final breath here. Inhale, lifting the left arm up, and exhale, coming back down. Lifting to our high plank, and exhale, pushing back to our last downward dog of today's practice. And step forward with the feet, finding a cross-legged position. And then extending the legs out in front of us, finding a Dandasana. Flexing the feet, and then inhale, lifting the arms overhead. Exhale, finding our forward fold. One more time. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, lifting the chin, looking up, and exhale, folding from the hips, coming a little deeper. Keeping a micro bend in the knees, always. On our next inhalation, coming back up, Let's make our way onto our back, bringing the knees into the chest for a moment. Let's find our happy baby position. So grabbing onto the big toes or the outside of the feet, rolling the shoulders back and down, keeping the shoulders and the tailbone grounded. And gently releasing, bringing the knees to 90 degrees, arms out to the side, and then exhale, letting the knees drop to the right side, looking to the left. And you can close down the eyes now, getting ready to close our practice. Slowing down the pace now. Inhale, bringing the knees back, and exhale, bringing them to the left, looking to the right. Deepening the breath a little bit more. Gently bringing the knees back. And one last hug of the knees before releasing into our Shavasana. Releasing the arms and the legs, closing down the eyes, removing all movement from the body. And we won't be here for too long. You can start to bring a little bit of movement into the hands and the feet. And then when you're ready, gently rolling onto the side in a fetal position, keeping the eyes closed, and then gently pushing yourself up, finding a seated position. Resting the hands and the knees, finishing off today's practice with coming back to the body and the breath for a moment, just checking in, seeing how everything is feeling after our practice. And one final deep inhalation in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth with a sigh, letting go. And then bringing the palms together in front of the chest. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.